Hello, Wicked Team video. Today we're going to take a look at Master League gameplay now, finally. For the first time actually for me now playing the Master League as well. Before I already played the Element Cup, but yeah, I don't really have a lot of Pokemon for the Master League, but those that I have I can at least showcase. We're going to have our shiny Dialga here, we have our Mewtwo, and we're also going to have our Buzzwole here. I kind of had to get used to this team first, as I wasn't really known with the Master League, to be fair. My Mewtwo is actually even the best buddied version here. It's a level 51 Shundo, which is kind of cool. We will be able to hit the Shadow Ball against the opponent's Metagross, and we can see the Channeler coming in here, which you can hit with one Shadow Ball, which should knock it out, or even one Side Strike, hopefully. And yeah, like I have to kind of get used to the Master League again, but I have actually a lot of cool content coming up for the Master League. If you're interested in this, leave a like and subscribe, as we're going to have the new season soon as well. I can't wait for this one because the this season was most likely the worst we ever had, to be fair. In terms of how the cups were distributed and also like all the bugs and everything else, it was really not a good season, as well as the main gameplay of Pokemon Go kind of was lagging. So yeah, I don't know. I'm happy for the new season coming back, but we will be able to take a look here now at my 100% XL Buzzwole. I don't really have a lot of Pokemon, but I have some cool hundos here. We're going to see here that we see a Mewtwo coming in against us. This one does not like to get hit here by this launch. They're going to actually swap out here into their Zekrom, which is even better for me, as I will still be able to farm out the Mewtwo later on. I can go to my own Mewtwo against this opponent's Zekrom now, which will allow me to go for one Side Strike. This will get a shield, and I will be able to now swap perfectly onto their charge move, which is going to be a crunch, onto my Dialga, which can take it like a charm, but sadly they're gonna get the debuff, which doesn't really matter too much, as we can let this move go through. We're going to still have our own Mewtwo alive, and we will be able to get a nice energy lead here, which allows us now to win this game anyway, as my opponent decides to surrender. Next opponent, we see a Dragonite in the lead here. Dragonite is fine for me. Dragonite should be okay, as we will be able to go ahead and go for an Iron Head, or we can just farm down as well, but they're going to go for the superpower and they're going to dip out into their Metagross. I have no idea about this matchup, so I thought, okay, I'm going to be fine. Just going to go ahead, farm up a little bit extra. I'm going to go for one superpower and I should be okay here, alright? Let's see, superpower coming through. Superpower is going to hit the opponent, and superpower doesn't do enough damage, and they can still get to another move. So even though we have a super strong Pokemon here, it's still going to go down to a Metagross, which is kind of embarrassing, to be fair. I actually really thought that I would be able to just go in there, get the move off, or like just farm all the way down. It's kind of sad, like kind of thought that Buzzwole would be a little bit better there. Of course, all the moves are neutral and not super effective, but still, we will be able at least here to snipe this Dragonite with my Iron Head. We will see the Excadrill coming in, and this should be a good game, as my opponent will be able to go for a charge move here. Maybe I should win for a charge move as well here, but I don't think it will really help me either, because they're going to be able to get to a move here anyway. And unless they want to no-shield the Shadow Ball coming through here, there is no way for me in hell to win this game. So it's going to be a good game to my opponent. Again, I could have played it better. I think the Buzzwole match up against the Metagross, how I played it, kind of hurt me a lot there. But that's fine. We will be able to go into the next match now, which is going to be a Dialga. If it's best buddied, which this luckily isn't, I'm kind of like predicament there, because we have a Dialga that has not the ideal IV spread there, and it's not best buddied either. I don't really want to best buddy this, because I think I'm still going to not have the bulk point that I need for it. There is I have a Hundo Dialga as well, which I haven't powered up yet. Maybe I'm just going to power this up the next time we get the Dialga in raids, but we have to see. As I will be able to farm down at least the opponent there with my Buzzwole, but we're gonna get greeted here by one Kyogre and also the Giratina, which is not really ideal, as there's not a lot that I can do here anymore. I'm going to still try to get to another Shadow Ball at least, which I might be able to do some damage later on against the Giratina. But the likelihood of us hitting a Shadow Ball is pretty slim, I would say, as we're going to go for the undercharge, which literally doesn't matter because it wasn't enough. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. Does this knock them out if they let this move go through? It does not, but we at least get still a chance here. As sadly we're able to farm us down here, we can shield up the move, which is going to be the Omnious Wind, and we will be able to go for one lunge. This will do enough damage if they don't shield, but they of course going to shield here. But maybe we can outspeed them to the next move, and we cannot, and this is actually even a Shadow Shadow Ball already, and that's going to be a good game here, but it's still fine. It's fine. We're going to be able to go into the next match. I actually climbed a lot with this team as well. Like, it actually worked really well. The teams that are coming up, while I'm trying to showcase certain Pokemon, not all of the Pokemon are like spicy or whatever, but are kind of cool. I actually climbed a lot with the recent teams, like the teams that are coming up on my channel. So for Master League, definitely had some fun actually playing it. Like, I don't really mind Master League too much. I just don't like the investment that I have to take to participate in this league. Like, basically for me, if it's not a lucky Pokemon, it's kind of awkward to build it because I don't really have enough starters for this. I also don't play the game currently enough to get a lot of starters, to be fair. I literally just play Go Battle League and that's basically it nowadays. Recent events, I also posted a ton of stuff on Twitter about it. Recent events didn't really bother me at all. All Pokemon that are available I already have. And new Pokemon, we had 4 new Pokemon in the wild this season, which is not a lot. In 3 months, 4 Pokemon is basically nothing. So for me, this season as well as a player was kind of lame. We see Mewtwo here. We will be able to let the Shadow Ball go through. We can still survive this. We can go for 1 Iron Head and I will be able to knock them out, which is nice as we see the opponent coming into the Melmetal, and I think they're going to already surrender at this point of time anyway, as there is not a lot that they can do about it. They can go for 1 Rock Slide, knock me out. I'm fine with that. We have our Buzzwole, and Buzzwole will be able to completely destroy this Pokemon, as we can shield up the Rock Slide. Doesn't really matter anyway. We will have still survived it easily as well, still, as we're still going to be able to win the game. Next opponent, Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a good Pokemon to face in the lead, I guess. Don't really want to have it on my Buzzwole unless I have a ton of energy already on my Buzzwole, which usually is not the case. So we will be able to go for a charge move here with our Dialga. Dialga has a great time here going for some Iron Heads. I think you win this in a 2-shield as a Dialga, but I'm going to try to catch the move on my own Mewtwo. Worked out not so well, I would say, but at least I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here. I'm always going to be able to win the CMP as I'm best buddied and they are not. So that's kind of nice, and I will be able to shield up their opponent's move as well again, which is going to be a Shadow Ball, which is fine for us. We see a Dialga coming in, which we can hit with 1 Shadow Ball as well. This will do around 55% of the opponent, as this going to put them into range where I can just farm them down with my Buzzwole, I would say. And I should be pretty fine here afterwards. I hope that they can farm down on time. Let's see if they can still get to a move. They cannot, which is amazing, as we will be able to go for some charge moves here depending on what they're coming in with, but they're coming in with the Mewtwo, which is fine. Goodbye Mewtwo. This one going to go down pretty easily here, as we see the opponent coming into a Groudon, and this is even better for me. I can just launch them and I can debuff them. And this is like the scenarios which I really like about Buzzwole, having the move that can really, at the end game, flip the match with a launch that can just debuff the opponent's attack is amazing, as it also benefits like the other Pokemon on your team a lot. I really enjoyed like Pokemon with launch anyway. I wish there was like an update for bug type Pokemon, would be pretty cool. Like, I don't know, that some more bug type moves like U-turn or something come into the game. U-turn would be, by the way, like a clone of a World Switch in terms of the main series games at least. That would be a very cool one. But yeah, Lunge is a very cool move in my opinion, as you still have offensive power while also some defensive power with it. As we see here, the next opponent having a Dialga that is best buddied. I have no chance of winning this matchup. I'm going to concede this matchup here and trying to farm down with my Buzzwole. If my one would be best buddied and we would tie this, I mostly would have went into my Mewtwo, which would have helped me for a lot of cases here, as my opponent gonna go into an Yveltal, and I'm going to forfeit here because, yep, my Mewtwo is completely getting hard-walled by any type of dark type here, sadly. So there was not a lot that I can do there, but stuff like this happens. Like, Yveltal is a little bit more common because it was recently in raids, but it's not really usually the best Pokemon to use. But we will see here a Togekiss, which is also not ideal to deal with this team. It's okay if I can get to the next move here in time, and I will be able to do this. I will be getting a 2 shields advantage here, which is nice. Or we're going to actually be able to just realign our Pokemon. This is even better here. We're going to go into our Mewtwo, of course, because we will be able to hit them with Shadow Ball, and we going to resist like the fast moves at least, which is good. 1 Shadow Ball of us would also knock them out pretty easily, and does knock them out pretty easily. And we see a Kyogre coming in. I have no idea what they thought of no-shielding this, to be fair. I think going into Kyogre later on would have been their only way of winning anything here, but we will be able to no-shield up the move. It's going to be a Surf, and I can just go ahead and go for 1 Side Strike here. This will do enough to knock them out here. They don't even shield because they know this game was over. Next opponent, we will see here the Landorus in the lead. That's something that's a little bit tricky. I kind of want to see them lead. I kind of don't want to see it at all, to be fair. But the lead matchup is kind of tricky because you can theoretically go ahead and get a shield back there with the Iron Head. But my opponent makes a crazy good move by swapping into their Metagross, which allows me to go into my Buzzwole, and I should have went for the superpower. Me playing and not correctly again. It's my own fault. Like, if I just went for the superpower here, I would have been fine. But I don't go for the superpower, so I'm not really fine. And I can farm them all the way down, but what am I supposed to do against the Landorus now without any shields and also with the Togekiss in the back, which doesn't make it way better, to be fair. So yeah, there is not a lot that I can do here right now. I can try to swap out with a move store. They're gonna go into the Landorus here, but I don't know how I am supposed to still win this game. They can just go ahead, go for some charge moves. I think I should have maybe went into my Dialga, but even this wouldn't really help me too much. There's not a lot that I can do here, to be fair. My Pokemon that I have in the back there, my Buzzwole, kind of had a tough time here in general against the Landorus, as well as against the Togekiss there, of course. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky. We will be able to take the superpower, but I think we're just going to forfeit here anyway, because like there was nothing we can do here anyway. There's nothing we can do. We see the next opponent. We see a Ho-Oh. That's something that you don't really want to face with your backline there, of course. I don't think this is a fully XL Ho-Oh though. I think it could get still like around 300 CP more. But we will be able to at least go for one Draco Media against it, which should do some nice damage if it comes through, and it goes through, which is amazing. So goodbye Ho-Oh. We see Mewtwo coming in. They're going to have the fast move advantage here, which is kind of annoying because they can just go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball straight, and they do this exactly. I can go ahead and go for the Side Strike bait, but they're actually going to go into their Dialga in time before, which is annoying because, yeah, I will be able to get most likely some shields here maybe. It's still not really the nicest scenario for me. I can go for one Side Strike here. I get the shield, which is nice. I can go for the Shadow Ball. This will not get the shield most likely. I think they're going to let this move go through, but I can farm him down at least. I will see the Mewtwo coming in, and I make a huge mistake by not swapping out in time. This will be a Side Strike, but we actually still survive it with a 1 HP, which is amazing, as we can go for our own one. They're going to let this move go through as well. I know already that they have Shadow Ball as well, so I can go ahead and go into my Buzzwole, trying to catch the move. Didn't work out, but even a Shadow Ball, as we know already, doesn't knock out the Dialga from this range, which allows me now to farm them all the way down, and it just puts them into range for the counter of the Buzzwole, which is amazing. As you can see here, Buzzwole going to be able to finish off this game, and we can go into the final one against an ex-tennis player. Very nice name. We see a very decent lead for us. Giratina is something that I want to see in the lead. It was actually the Pokemon that I want to bait out with my Mewtwo, as we're still going to be able to do some damage against it at least, but we really don't want to face it against our Buzzwole. But we see now the opponent coming into their Dialga. I lose CMP again. Like, I play so horrible with my Buzzwole, it's insane. But I will be able to go for still one superpower here. They will let this move go through. I can knock out their opponent's Pokemon there, their opponent's Dialga, and I can still get to the lunch, which is nice. But again, I play pretty horrible right now. Lunch coming through, I can go ahead and go for one Iron Head with my Dialga. Do they want to shield it? Do they not want to shield it? This is the question. They want to shield it. So I'm going to shield it, because this is not in a farm down range for my Mewtwo. As I said, I should have most likely shielded this one, but hey, it's fine, as we still see a Metagross from the opponent coming in, so I think we're still okay here, even though I think I still should have shielded. It is okay, as we hit also the Shadow Ball here. We will be able to shield up the move from the opponent. We can overfarm a little bit, and we can throw the move just in time before they can get to their next charge move, as I was a little bit scared that they have already moves stored with their Giratina. But as we have already 2 Side Strikes, we will be able to win this game. And also, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks all for watching. I really enjoy the Moss League currently as well, actually. So I hope you enjoy this as well. See you then in the next video, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.